Unreal. Unreal, unreal, unreal. We're doing this shit again, boys. We are doing this shit again. Another goddamn slow start. And I know this game, I know all the blame is going to be pinned on Connor Brogdon. And I'm not trying to put blame off Connor Brogdon. No way in hell. That's not the direction I am going in. Connor Brogdon does not deserve to be on a major league roster. The dude has completely lost his stuff from where it was a couple of seasons ago. He was not a good pitcher last season, and that's why he got sent down and never got called back up. And I didn't even think his spring training was not even good enough to even consider a roster spot. But I don't even know if they're using the excuse that he has zero minor league options left. If that's the case, he doesn't deserve to be on a major league roster. In my opinion, it's unfathomable that he's even on a major league mound in an important situation in the 10th inning. And Rob Thompson said it after the game that, Soto, Anthony, those guys were not available because Soto, he pitched 2 days in a row, even though yesterday he threw one pitch. I think that I understand it's 4 games into the season. You don't want to force bullpen arms to pitch 3 days in a row. I can completely understand that case. I do. But when the other option is Connor Brogdon, I think you need to look in a different direction. I really think you need to look in a different direction. Hell, just put Nick Nelson out there. I think Nick Nelson could give you better stuff than what Connor Brogdon did in that 10th inning. Jesus Christ. Dude can't throw a strike. And then allows the bases loaded. And then when the man does throw a strike, fucking grand slam. And the game is basically over there. It's basically over there. Yeah, I know what the Phillies tried to do in the bottom of the 10th inning. I checked myself out. I was at the Flyers game during this thing, and thankfully I was in a position to where I can also watch the Phillies game because me and my father, we had suite tickets tonight, so they had the TVs in the suite, and I watched the Phillies game mainly from the Flyers game. I was basically back and forth throughout the entire thing. A lot of my focus was on this Phillies game, though, just because I wanted them to win. I thought they could definitely win this game tonight against the goddamn Cincinnati Reds, and like I said, majority of the blame tonight is going to be pinned on Connor Brogdon, Rob Thompson, all that stuff, and granted, those guys 100% deserve blame for this game. This is where my blame goes towards. Through the entire game, for the entire game, it's your goddamn offense. Your goddamn offense, after scoring 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning, Kyle Schwarber gets on base. I believe, Trey Turner got on base as well. Alec Boehm drives those guys in. A bleeder down the right field line, scores 2 runs there. You get on the board 2-0. There we go. Hot start. Christopher Sanchez gets himself out of a couple of jams in the first couple of innings. Brandon Marsh with a defensive assist from center field because he was playing center field this game. Whit Merrifield was playing left. So Rob Thompson actually went with a very solid lineup, which I actually did like in this game, where it was Schwarber, Turner, Harper, JT, Boehm, Castellanos, Stott, Merrifield, Marsh. I actually do like that lineup a lot because it doesn't have Rojas in it, even though Rojas does become a factor later in this game. We will get there. We will definitely get to the Johan Rojas experience from later in this ball game. But basically, since that bottom of the first inning, nothing from your offense. Christopher Sanchez, I thought was fantastic tonight. But it comes to the fact that your offense doesn't tack on to your 2-0 lead. It gives the Reds in the back of their mind, or in the front of their minds as well, just in their minds in general. I don't know why I said in the back of their minds. Just deal with me here, boys. I'm all over the place right now because my emotions are intact. This goddamn Phillies game, the experience from the Flyers tonight, losing in overtime to the New York Islanders in a playoff push where, honestly, I think this Flyers team is going to slip out of the playoffs just because they've lost 5 games in a row, and yeah, it's getting ugly at this point. But the fact that both teams lost in very heartbreaking fashion and very frustrating fashion, I am a goddamn bag of emotions tonight, mainly pissed off and frustrated at the end of the day. Some sadness just because, my God, why can't us in Philadelphia sports just be happy this weekend? opening day was, opening weekend, yeah, you got the win against the Atlanta Braves, and I was happy about that. You salvaged the series, but overall, the overall taste of opening weekend was very sour, and it still leaves a very sour taste in my mouth. And this game is just, the icing on the cake at the end of the day. And that also just coincides to possibly not even playing the next two games in this series. I was even shocked that you got the game in tonight. I didn't know the weather was going to let up that much during the nighttime, but I think tomorrow and Wednesday is actually going to be worse in terms of the weather, if I'm not mistaken there, because the last time I did see, I think Tuesday and Wednesday said 100% rain for both days. I think it's going to rain from Tuesday, Wednesday into Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Tuesday, heavy rainfall possible during the daytime and especially during nighttime, so I wouldn't be shocked if tomorrow gets postponed. Wednesday's an afternoon game, so the rain's basically going to go through the afternoon, very heavy rain showers. Maybe they postpone the game at the nighttime, but I still would be shocked if that game even gets in, so I would be shocked if either of these next two games gets played, which, makes me even more mad because now, if tomorrow and Wednesday get postponed, we got to sit on this goddamn loss for the next 3 days, basically, because maybe they maybe they make a double. I doubt they're going to make you play a doubleheader this early in the season, but maybe they move the games to Thursday because both the Phillies and the Reds don't play on Thursday, so maybe they can move and make a doubleheader on Thursday. I have no idea. I'm just thinking out loud at this point, but the fact that I got to sit on these two losses most likely for the next 2 days because I don't expect them to play the next 2 days because of the weather, it makes me even more mad. It's just the fact that going back to the Reds, having that thought process in the back of their minds when you don't tack on to your lead, it makes them think they're still involved in the game. And they were still involved in the game regardless of how much Christopher Sanchez looked good. And all it took was one mistake, and that ended up being a leadoff walk in the 6th inning, and then it turned into a double, which made it 2nd and 3rd, which Rob Thompson yanked Christopher Sanchez, brought in Jeff Hoffman, and sadly, Jeff Hoffman's not going to be perfect with inherited runners. He's going to allow runs from time to time, and sadly, he did allow those two inherited runners to score. He did limit the damage and kept the game tied, but still, it just comes to the matter of the fact that if you tack on more runs, you make it 3-0, you make it 4-0, you make it 5-0 possibly. The Reds, maybe they get those 2 runs, but still you're winning 5-2 at the end of the day after the 6th inning. Like, it just needs to be better from your offense. That's what I'm trying to say. And the goddamn base running blunders are still a thing with this team as Bryson Stott gets picked off trying to steal second base. And the same thing with Johan Rojas. Bryson Stott, after he walked, I believe, he gets picked off trying to steal. Didn't even get the pitch off. The pitcher just instantly knew he was trying to steal. And Bryson Stott just got caught in between the goddamn base paths. It's ridiculous at this point. Your offense is basically quiet for majority of this time. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. I believe you only had like 4 hits. 4 hits for like 5, 6 innings, I believe. And then you get to the goddamn dreaded 8th inning. After, Matt Strahm pitches a 1-2-3 inning, I believe. And then Junior Marte does a solid job, shockingly, in my honest opinion, on the mound. I was not expecting Junior Marte to look that, sharp on the mound. I don't know how much longer it's going to last. It's 100% better than Connor Brogdon. I would gladly take Junior Marte experience over Connor Brogdon every goddamn day of the week. But besides the point there, it's just the fact that bottom of the 8th inning, okay, the Reds, they're bringing out so many goddamn left-handed pitchers during this goddamn game. So regardless, you're going to have to fight off against so many lefties. Kyle Schwarber, first pitch, leads off with a single. Trey Turner, very next pitch, singles as well. Two pitches from the bullpen guy that came in for the Reds. 2 guys on. Bryce Harper comes up to the plate. First pitch pop up. I don't like swinging at the first pitch there. I only accept swinging at the first pitch if you happen to get on base. I'm just not a fan of swinging at first pitch in general. I like to see what the pitcher can throw. I like to see you take a couple of pitches, find your pitch, and Bryce Harper just flies out. And then during the process, once Schwarber got on second base, he was pitch ran for, Rojas pitch ran for him. And then during the JT Realmuto at bats, this is also when the Reds went back to the bullpen, brought out a righty to face JT. Rojas gets caught stealing. Picked off, basically. Once again, the same situation Stott was. Pitch wasn't even thrown. Rojas goes, and then the pitcher throws back to second base. Rojas gets caught in the rundown. So that's 2 times tonight. You got caught in the fucking base paths. This game needed to be won in the 8th inning. This game needed to be won in the goddamn 8th inning. Top of the lineup up. Your 2 guys get on. Bryce pops up. Rojas gets caught on the base paths, and then JT strikes out. Unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. Alvarado allows, I believe, a 2-out walk or something like that, but he still basically got out of that inning unscathed. So basically, after Hoffman, Strom, Marte, Alvarado, basically all clean innings from those guys. Keep you involved in the game. 9th inning, just bad at bats. Bohm, I believe he popped out or grounded out or something like that. Castellanos hit it the right field, like near the warning track, but still wasn't deep enough at all. And then Bryson Stott just had a pitiful at bat with 2 outs. Then you go to that 10th inning. Connor Brogdon completely blows up, and it was all she wrote there. I understand. Yeah, the Phillies did try to do something in the 10th inning. Of course, now that you don't have Schwarber in the game because Japan ran for him, Rojas has to, come up the bat. And if we go to that goddamn 10th inning, because this is when I walked away from watching the game and was watching the Flyers. So, 10th inning, you start with the ghost runner, of course. Merrifield led off with a walk, so you get first and second there. Then Marsh strikes out. Then Rojas grounds down into a fielder's choice. Merrifield gets out a second. Once again, Rojas beats out a throw at first base. So, then Rojas manages to steal second base. And then whoever was on third base was on third base, whoever was the ghost runner in that position. Turner reaches in on an infield single and a run scores because of it. Stott scores, so I'm assuming Stott was the inherited runner from the ghost runner perspective of extra innings at this point. So Turner gets on because of that, scores a run, then it brings up Bryce Harper, righty-lefty basically. 2 outs, tying run at the plate. Bryce Harper takes the first 2 pitches for balls. Then he fouls a pitch off. No, actually, I'm looking at the wrong bat here. Yeah, he goes up 2-2. He goes up 2-0. Then he fouls the ball off. Basically 3 pitches that I thought were in his wheelhouse. Missed them. Fouled off a slider. Swung and missed at a fastball. And then swung and missed at another fastball. Down and in. Which still I think is part of Bryce Harper's wheelhouse. And it just kind of basically proves to me that his timing's off still. And that his entire offense, right now, their timing is off. And that's not acceptable. That is not acceptable. Yeah, this offense didn't have a good spring training. Be ready for the fucking regular season. That's bottom line. Be fucking ready for the regular season, because so far the only guys that I see in this lineup right now as the freaking videos just constantly blowing my ear. My God, from the ESPN website. Thank God you guys didn't hear that, because my ears just exploded. Holy shit. Right now, the only guys that look competent in the batter's box, per se, is Kyle Schwarber, because he's hitting singles. Now, Kyle Schwarber, I love me some Kyle Schwarber hitting singles. He's actually getting on base in the leadoff spot. My God, he's hitting singles. I love that from Kyle Schwarber. So, he looks competent at the plate. JT looks somewhat competent. He's batting .286 so far. Alec Bohm, he's batting .333. He gets another 2 RBIs on the night. And then Bryson Stott's batting .333, but he did not have a good day at the plate. So mainly your offense is Kyle Schwarber getting singles and Alec Bohm knocking in RBIs. Besides that, maybe JT gets on here and there. Maybe Stott gets on here and there. Maybe same thing with Trey Turner. But still, Trey Turner, I need to see him get going now. Bryce Harper has yet to have a hit. In 4 games so far, Bryce Harper has yet to have a hit. He's walked a couple of times. Not acceptable, though. Not acceptable. And you can definitely tell his timing's off. Because if his timing was on in that bottom of the 10th inning with those 2 pitches that he swung and missed at in his wheelhouse, the game would have been fucking tied if Bryce Harper's timing was on and he was on fire. The game would have been tied most likely, or he would have drove it in 2 runs. Mainly that point there. He did get robbed by the starter in this game, too, when he had a nice sharp line drive right to the pitcher. But still, the matter of the fact is, he does not have a hit at all this season. In the first 4 fucking games. And no, this is not me saying this is a back issue with him. This is him. Timing's off. And the timing's off for a lot of these hitters. It's fucking ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. It's getting old. It's getting old with these goddamn slow starts. Yes, you talk the right game, and you're supposed to talk that game in spring training, how you want to avoid the slow starts, how you want to win the division, how you want to compete with the goddamn Braves. Fucking back it up. Fucking back it up. Because what did I see this goddamn weekend? You got fucking blown out by the Braves twice. Yeah, thankfully you won Sunday's game, and then tonight your offense went fucking quiet. Yes, against a young, up-and-coming goddamn Cincinnati Reds team. I still don't think they're good. You should have fucking beat them. That's just me. That's just me. Yes, the Reds are an up-and-coming team. I still don't think they're that good to where your offense looks that bad. I'm just being honest here. You shouldn't have been in a fucking position to where Connor Brogdon had to pitch in the 10th inning, but no, your offense put yourself in that goddamn position because you couldn't tack on more runs after you made it 2-0. Rojas, Stott getting picked off on the base paths. That 8th inning, after you get the 2 leadoff guys on base, you gotta fucking score. That's unacceptable. That is unacceptable. 2 for 12 with runners in scoring position. You left 7 runners on base. Sorry. I'm sorry that I'm acting like this. I hate acting like this 4 fucking games into the season, but it's just, you talked all this shit. I have expectations for this team. This is not me panicking about the season as a whole. This is me reacting to the first 4 games in hand of what I've seen from this product. Do I expect it to get better? Yes. They're going to get hot at some point. They're going to win games. I understand that. But when you talk the talk of the spring training, of getting off to a hot start, fighting with the division, with the Braves, and especially because these first 2 months of the season are the easiest parts of your schedule, because once you get to June, once you get to July, August especially, your schedule gets harder. And yeah, I hate looking that far into the schedule, but you gotta win your fucking games to start the season. April 1st, your games on April 1st just matter as much as game 64, matter just as much as game 102, and matter just as much as game 146 in the late August, early September. It all goes to the record sheet. I understand there's people of this fan base that don't, really react to these losses as extremely as I am reacting to them right now, because they don't care until August comes around, because that's when the time matters most. And yeah, I understand that. I'm not going to gauge you on how you want to view your fandom. I hate acting like this myself. I used to have the mindset of, okay, these games, okay, let the team get in the roll and all that stuff, but I don't like the product that I'm seeing. I don't like getting smacked around in the first 2 games of the goddamn season by the Atlanta Braves, and your offense just no-shows against the goddamn Cincinnati Reds team that I don't think is that good. I'm sorry. It's unacceptable for you to put 2 runs on the board and then not even tack on anything else after Christopher Sanchez did what he was doing on the mound tonight, because I thought Christopher Sanchez was amazing on the mound. But you not putting more runs on the board, all it took was 1 mistake by Sanchez. All it took was 1 mistake. And sadly, that was the case in the 6th inning when he started off with that leadoff walk, and then it turned into a double. What else am I going to tell you there? It's unacceptable what happened. If I look at the pitching tonight, Sanchez did not get out of the 6th inning, so his full stat line is 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk and 8 strikeouts on 85 pitches. I thought he was really good tonight, but like I said, when you don't tack on runs, it makes, every pitch more stressful for your starting pitcher. And like I said, when you make that 1 mistake, that's when it came back to bite you in the ass. And that's not a fault of Christopher Sanchez. That's on your offense for not helping your starting pitcher out. That's just my opinion. Hoffman comes in. He does get out of the situation, but he is the one that allowed the 2 runs that got charged to Sanchez. Struck out 2 on 18 pitches. His ERA is still 0, but he did allow the inherited runners to score. But granted, Hoffman's not going to strand every single inherited runner possible. That's just not going to happen. That's just not going to happen regardless of how good Hoffman's been. Strom comes in, 12 pitches, 1 strikeout. He was solid out of the pen. Marte, 8 pitches, 1 strikeout. He was very efficient. Jose Alvarado, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, 15 pitches. That part of the bullpen was fine. 10th inning. Connor Brogdon, grand slam. Are you fucking kidding me? Dude can't throw a goddamn strike. 37 pitches, 18 fucking strikes. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Connor Brogdon does not deserve to sniff a major league roster. I'm sorry. Nick Nelson should have been the guy on the mound to start the 10th inning. That's on Rob Thompson. But as a whole, I'm blaming this game on the offense. Like I said, I hate thinking like this 4 games in the goddamn season. I don't like what I'm seeing. Offense, too many guys look like their timing is off. Just way too much, especially guys like Bryce Harper. Timing looks way too far off, in my goddamn opinion. Way too off. It's putting more stress on your starting pitching. It's putting more stress on your bullpen. You need to score runs. That's how you win games. Scoring 2 runs in the first inning and not tacking on anymore. You're not going to win games like that. You're just not. But like I said, this is not my reflection on what this entire season's going to be. It's not. It is not. I'm reacting to the product that I've seen in the first 4 games of the season. And I'm especially reacting like this is just because I don't expect them to play the next 2 games. I expect next 2 games to get rained out. Granted, Mother Nature can do some wild things, and it could be exactly like it was today. Poured in the afternoon, and then during the nighttime, it was, no rain. But according to the forecast, it's going to rain from Tuesday into Wednesday, and Tuesday is going to be the heaviest. Wednesday morning, afternoon is going to be the heaviest as well. And then it probably dies down as you get into Wednesday night, but it's still going to try to rain into Thursday morning. So, like I said, I don't expect any of these 2 games to get played. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Why can't we be the team that gets off to that hot start? Why can't we be the ones to put fear into the rest of baseball? Look out for the Phillies because, they torched so-and-so opening weekend. Their bats are on fire. Their pitching is shutting shit down. Why can't we be that? I just want to know. Do I expect it to get better? Yes, 100%. Doesn't mean I like these first 4 games. Because now my mindset is reacting on a daily basis. I do hate thinking like that. I hate having the football mindset with every single goddamn game. I do. But it's just the fact that I was so pumped up for baseball to come back, and this is what I'm getting the first 4 games. It's ridiculous. Especially with all the shit that you talked in spring training. Even though it wasn't shit talk, you said the right things. Back it up. Come on. Be better. It's ridiculous. It's downright embarrassing in my opinion. It's embarrassing. Schwarber went 2 for 4 today with 2 singles, so Kyle singles Schwarber. Trey Turner went 2 for 4, so he did show up today. Bryce Harper 0 for 5 with 2 strikeouts. What more do I have to say? And no, this is not a Bryce Harper back stiffness issue. This is a Bryce Harper's timing's off issue. He needs to figure it out. JT 1 for 4. Alec Boehm 1 for 3 with 2 RBI and a walk. Nick Castellanos is 0 for 4. Nick Castellanos. Bryson Stott 0 for 3 with a walk and also got picked off on the base paths. Whit Merrifield 0 for 3 with a walk. And then Brandon Marsh 1 for 4. He actually got a hit off a lefty. So, Marsh can get hit off lefties from time to time. So, he should be benched against lefties, in my honest opinion. Even though, like I said, I think this is the best lineup so far, in these first 4 games. I like the way the lineup is. Because, personally, I don't think Rojas deserves to be in the majors. I don't think he deserved anything from spring training. I just don't think he's ready. I don't think he's ready enough. Granted, yes, I understand he has an elite glove in center field. His glove is fantastic. When you can't back that up with at least a 220 average, 230 average, 240 average, you're basically useless down there in the 9-hole. I'm sorry, it just is. Can't make contact, can't get hits, can't get on the base, man. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It needs to be better. So right now, I think this is the lineup that you put out there. Even though I don't think Whit Merrifield should be playing every day, he's more of a platoon guy, and he understands that role at this point of his career because he is up there in age, and he understands what stage he is at in his career. He's a better hitter against left-handed pitching than he is against right-handed pitching. So I think that's the case that it's going to be. I wouldn't be shocked if we see Pache or Rojas next in the lineup. But, Rojas is really testing that leash with, the way that he's been playing, just in my honest opinion. Can't get over that 10th inning, though. It's just unreal. Connor Brogdon's fallen off this much. It's incredible. Imagine what, 2 years ago, we thought he was one of your decent sneaky weapons out of the bullpen. Had an electric changeup. His changeup was unreal. And he was a very solid pitcher for you out of the bullpen a couple of seasons ago. Dude completely fell off a cliff. Fell off a cliff to where he doesn't even deserve to be on a major league roster. That's how bad it got. That's how bad it is. Now, I don't know what they're going to do with him, because maybe they DFA him once Kerkering comes back, because Kerkering is currently on a minor league assignment, for him to get, I guess his arm intact, because I think he dealt with an illness at the end of spring training, so he really wasn't to get ramped up there. And I don't know. Don't know. Not sure why Soto just wasn't available. He threw one pitch yesterday. One pitch. He should have been available. Or you put fucking Nick Nelson out there. To start the 10th. Fucking hell. It's fucking ridiculous, man. It's fucking ridiculous. Just trying to see anything else here that I can look at. I just don't know. The fucking Pittsburgh Pirates, I believe, are like 5-0 to start the year. If I'm just looking at everything right now, Yankees are 4-0. The Tigers are 4-0 out of all teams. Texas is 3-1. Braves are 3-1, I believe. They just beat the White Sox today. Mets are 0-4. The Marlins are 0-5. Nationals are 1-3. Pirates are 5-0. The Brewers are 3-0. Diamondbacks are 3-1. Dodgers are 4-2. Come on, man. Just get off to a good start. Come on. Astros finally got their first win. Their first win was a no-hitter, of all the things in the world. Guardians are 3-1. Twins are 2-1. White Sox are 0-4. Not shocking there. Tampa Bay's 2-3. Toronto's 2-3. Baltimore's 3-1. Craig Kimbrell blew a save today, I believe. Shocker. Come on, man. I just need it to be better. And like I said, I don't expect the next 2 games to get played just because of what the weather is. And I'm going to look at the weather once again just to make sure I'm not crazy. Even though I am crazy, so disregard that. According to the weather right now, it says rain is possible after 5 a.m. and then it's just going to continue on from there. As we're going into the day tomorrow, it's 5 a.m., 57% chance of rain, and then the percentage chance just keeps going up. 9 a.m., 96% chance. 12 p.m., 97, 95, 92, 86. And then it's just going to rain all day. Basically, if you read for Tuesday, rain likely, chance of rain 100%, rainfall near a half an inch locally, heavy rainfall possible. And then during the nighttime, rain likely, chance of rain 90%, rainfall near a quarter of an inch. And then for Wednesday, rain early, then remaining cloudy with thunderstorms developing in the afternoon, chance of rain 100%, locally heavy rainfall possible. Nighttime, overcast with rain showers at times, chance of rain 60%. So I have no idea what the hell's going to happen, but Wednesday is technically supposed to be an afternoon game. So, I don't know. I don't know what happens. I don't think any of these next 2 games are going to be played. That's just me. And if you look at the upcoming schedule, just to say if these next 2 games are played. Turnbull against Ashcraft, so Turnbull, we'll see what that experience is like. And then Zack Wheeler against Frankie Montas on Wednesday afternoon at 1 o'clock, if the game is played. Like I said, these are all to be determined. And then you get to this weekend, depending on the rain, if both games get postponed. Washington this weekend, and I'm just reading it as is, if the games are not postponed. Nola against Patrick Corbin. Ranger Suarez going up against, I believe, Jake Irvin. And then that is Christopher Sanchez against Mackenzie Gore. And then you play the St. Louis Cardinals, which is Turnbull, Wheeler, and Aaron Nola against Miles Michaelis, a to-be-determined picture, and Lance Lynn. And then you play the Pittsburgh Pirates for a 4-game series at home, the Colorado Rockies for 3 games, the Chicago White Sox for 3 games, and then you see the Cincinnati Reds again for 4 games. Padres, 3 games on the road. Angels, 3 games on the road. Giants, 4 games at home. Not going to go that far into the schedule, though. Not going to go that far. I'm just looking at this month of April, because this month of April is probably your easiest schedule. May is doable. It definitely is. May is doable. And then as you get into June, as you get into July, August, that's when your schedule gets harder. That's why this month of April and a portion of May is very important for this team to win. Because if you get off to another slow start, which is basically what you're doing right now, you're going to be behind the 8 ball once again, and on a more difficult schedule once you get into June. Because at the rate this is going, this team will be doing the same exact shit once again, except against the more difficult schedule. And against the more difficult schedule, I don't know if you're going to go on a 590 winning percentage. I just don't know if that's going to happen. That's why this beginning of the schedule is crucial, people. That's why it is. So, frustrating. That's all it is. That's all it is, boys. And I'll get to you guys in a live feed real quickly. I don't think we have any voicemails on the Anytime Hotline, so nope, we do not have anything in there. In terms of a Flyers recap, I'll probably put out a Flyers recap tomorrow or something like that. I think that's where I'll go in terms of, possibly doing a Flyers recap if, the games get postponed. We'll play it by ear, see where things go. And that's it there. But let me get to you guys in the chat here before we end it off. Star Wars, how are you doing? Oh, yeah, needed to beat the Reds. Chris, how you doing, man? I looked up Google scores to refresh for the night. It shows the Phillies. No, the Phillies did not win. The Phillies did not win. But the win-loss showed 1 win, 3 losses. Was wondering if I just found it out it was overtime. Yeah, the Reds won in extra innings. Phillies see something in Brogdon, and most likely Brogdon isn't in his groove to start the season early. Phillies wouldn't have Brogdon if they didn't believe in him. Well, he's not proving anything now, man. Brogdon does not deserve to be on a Major League roster, in my honest opinion. He wasn't good last year. He was in the minors for a reason all of last season. And for a very mediocre spring training, I don't think he deserved to be on the roster. Granted, that's probably because Kerkering got injured. Also, Ortiz got injured the other game, so that probably also forced your hand there as well. Well, put fucking Nick Nelson in there, man. Put fucking Nick Nelson in there. Nate. Wrong timing. See if the media picks it up. Schwarber let off the knife with a single turnover. That was the 8th inning, actually. If Thompson replaced Schwarber with Pache while Schwarber was on first, more offensive options opened. Pache steals second, Turner hit and run. Turner single would have put Pache on third, not second base. I don't know, Nate. I don't know. Kind of feel like this had a big impact for the Reds tonight to win in 10 innings in the Phillies' house off of a grand slam. No, boys. Reds are all going to be lit if they play with the weather upcoming. I don't think they are going to. Hey, Chris, how you doing? Yep, that definitely was disgusting. Phillies always start off slow. Yes, they do always start off slow. Doesn't mean I have to like it. Phillies are boring in the regular season, but when the playoff time, they are fun to watch. They should be fun to watch in the goddamn regular season, man. I want to fight for the fucking division. Yeah, Bryce has no hits all year. Before the season began, I was asking myself, how the fuck did Brogdon get a slot on the roster? I want to know exactly that, Lane. I want to know that as well. Harper needs to be benched for a game or two to get his head on straight. He already got benched one game. Well, not benched. He got scratched or quote-unquote a scheduled rest day because of him not playing at the end of spring training, so scheduled rest day, even though I think it was because a combination of they didn't want him batting against Chris Sale, and they were also terrified of what happened with the dugout, him falling into the dugout and all of that. He's not gonna bench Harper. That's not gonna happen. Bryce has to swing through this, and Bryce Harper has done it before. Bryce Harper will get going. It's frustrating that he's in this funk, though. Definitely is. Yep, Houston did have the no-hitter. Never liked Connor Brogdon. Yep, Harper does need to be going. Yeah, majority of the bullpen did good. Majority of the bullpen did good. Like I said for Hoffman, it wasn't guaranteed he's going to have scoreless appearances when he always has inherited runners. He's going to allow a run from time to time with inherited runners. That's just a fact there. It's probably impossible to go an entire season not allowing inherited runners to score if you're Jeff Hoffman. It's just a matter of the fact that you score 2 runs basically the entire regulation of the game, and that was it. You didn't help your pitching out 1 point at 1 bit. That's where you lost the game. Yes, you could put the blame on Brogdon, blah, 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 blah. If Brogdon had a clean inning or he just allowed 1 run, Phillies would have tied it in the bottom of the 10th and we would have seen what happened. You know, in that situation, Bryce Harper would have a chance to walk off the game instead of trying to tie it. Yeah. Your offense still lost you the game at the end of the day. Your offense put too much pressure on your pitching, and that was basically it. So, that's where I'm going to end it today, boys. I appreciate you for joining here for this, later stream than normal. In terms of what happens over the next course of the next 2 days, like I said, I don't expect the next 2 games to get played. If they do, I would be insanely shocked. I really don't expect tomorrow's game to be played. Wednesday might still be up in the air, but I still don't expect that to be played, especially since it's an afternoon game, unless they make the decision to push it towards nighttime, but we'll wait and see when that happens. Like I said, don't expect these next 2 games to get played, and we'll just play it here on what happens in that situation. But for now, don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It does me a great deal of service. Also, use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Great deal. Don't pass it up. Maybe you get yourself down to Citizens Bank Park and the Phillies will play better. Maybe that'll be the case. Maybe if you use my code, that means they'll play better. Maybe that's the case. Hopefully. But thanks, guys, for tuning in tonight.